At a conference of Europe, the great powers convened to discuss the future of the unstable Qing, following the end of another civil war on top of so many in recent memory. With plans to orchestrate a restructuring of Asia, a greater issue arose. A war declared on the middle of the Ottoman Empire saw their borders creep further outward as the Sultan orchestrated yet another war of expansion and conquest. Unable to abide by such hostility anymore, Kaiser Oscar of Germany demanded an immediate standing down of Ottoman forces, which was rebuked by their ambassador. Calling for collective action, many nations demanded the same, except for the French, ever loyal to their overlord in Constantinople. Preparing to mobilize forces, the old allied powers of the Great War prepared to march yet again to stop the conquerors, but was shocked to learn that Britain planned to fight alongside the Ottoman Empire. Such an action was unprecedented, as Britain had done nothing of note for almost 100 years. Despite this, their power would be more than enough to tip the scale. Shocked and horrified, the Kaiser was forced to make his men stand down and penned a letter to the British Parliament, making it clear the situation was theirs to handle. Looking to the future, Germany struggles with radicals that continue to grow in number. The extremist Karl Marx's followers grow louder by the day across the fatherland, and if Germany's not careful, it will fall to revolution. This is the 8th and final episode of this roleplay multiplayer, Victoria 3 game as Germany. To start off with, we have a massive fucking surplus. They are going to get subsidies from us as well. That's one of the things I promised them. It is good to speak with you. I'd first off like to thank the Brazilians for the support and the conflict that almost began. Unfortunately, due to British interference, we have no choice but to stand down in that conflict, and Germany will not be going to war. I want to have a very frank talk with the two of you as to the future on several matters. The primary one of which I think you're going to not want to hear, and we don't like the prospect of it either. But the German government feels as though it is something that we need to consider. We were propositioned by Britain as part of the situation with the Ottomans with a very shocking proposal. I'm going to put it frankly to you as we view you as close allies, but again, do keep this to yourself. The proposal was that the United Kingdom would sell us the Suez Canal in exchange for support in building the Panama with the British. Now, this is a disgusting proposal to us, as we are very worried about the British. But I'm going to be quite frank with you. At this point, the German Empire is much more afraid of the Ottoman state. I mean, they have just been conquering and conquering and conquering and show little sign of stopping. Their economy eclipses ours and that of Britain, and of course eclipses your own, and they are becoming more dangerous by the day. The foreign policy of the German Empire up until this time has been one, frankly, hostile to Britain, as we do view them as dangerous, primarily due to inaction.
Yeah, so we concur with everything you just said. We find the British to be extremely erratic. It concerns us to hear his proposition.
The Mexican Empire would not support that, because that would just further British influence.
You do not wish to get rid of the communist government in Colombia? We're not proposing they get any influence there. What I am suggesting is that when we negotiate the British, as part of that is we ask for their support. I don't mean like them going to war with them and fighting. I mean them staying out of a conflict with Colombia that would be done by Mexico and Brazil.
Oh,
But we're allowing them to build the canal.
If we don't, they're going to be hostile to all of us in the future, and we can't allow for that, as the Ottomans and their allies are ridiculously powerful at this time.
But why are we giving any concessions to the British?
Because if we don't, we will have them breathing down our neck. My nation was almost brought to ruin trying to stop a global empire conquering the whole world, and the British stopped us. We can't just continue to have them hostile.
We can't allow the British to hold you hostage using us as the pieces for it. It shouldn't work like that.
In the mind of the German Empire, Brazil and Mexico are quickly becoming some of our pinnacle allies. And by allowing you to grow stronger here, in the long term for us, it is worth the situation. And I just want to remind you, the Ottomans have 900 divisions, the French have 700, the British have almost 600, the Canadians have 200, the Australians have 300. So, I mean, this is the situation we're dealing with.
Yeah, we understand that. We understand we've always supported you, but we cannot concede that state to the British regardless.
Right, they've always been partners of convenience.
There is a talk here that is long overdue. Frankly, I was shocked to see your support of the Ottomans in that situation. To our government, it's very clear what they're doing. It's frankly to the point of breaking the world. I mean, the Ottoman economy, the Ottoman military, it eclipses everyone. They've done nothing but expand since the World War, as we feared. We initially entered into talks to them after the World War, trying to rebuild our relations, open up new trade deals and things like that. And unfortunately, the only thing we saw from them afterwards was just constant conquest. We pinned a letter to you. You know well our thoughts on this now, but we just frankly like to hear what you think this is coming to.
We understand. However, from our position, the Ottomans have always been a measure of convenience in supporting them. They were an interesting counterweight to Austria and now to Russia.
Austria is gone. Russia is a second-hand power. Their economy is great, but their country is weak.
Yes, just as weak as we see the Ottomans.
Weak?
As we posited,
the Ottomans?
Yes. They're very vulnerable.
Their technology is more advanced than yours and mine. Their economy is greater than... Yes, it is. That is undisputed. Their military is superior to yours and mine.
That.
You could not admit anything you like. You don't have to do it. This is not a public meeting, even if you do not wish to admit it behind closed doors. Again, I go back to this. I'm not demanding anything happen here, but we're just trying to figure out what the United Kingdom expects to happen here. We have a power that is not going to grow content without taking new territory.
As we believe our Foreign Office mentioned in the text, we believe they have forged their own chains. They are so now dependent on the oil industry that once their trade is cut off, their nation will collapse.
Do you have a plan to do that?
Yes, by buying it.
You're growing their economy by doing that and making them even stronger.
But we are growing their economy dependent on trade with us. That gives us a knife at their throat whenever we wish to use it.
No, it doesn't. It makes you dependent on them as well.
We do not see it that way.
Well, I won't waste any more of your time. I will just caution you again. You are turning your eye to a threat. You are simply appeasing them, and that's your choice. As I said, we're not going to fight a war with you and the rest of the powers of Europe, but just remember our words, and we hope the members of your empire remember our words as well into the future. Thank you for your time.
Apparently the Ottomans denounced completely our custom union. I told them that's purely economical, for economical reasons, and I told them that that they should have seen that coming, since they endlessly expanded.
We're not here to discuss the Ottomans. We made it clear we'll defend you if a war happens, and we hope that others will do so as well. I'm here primarily to speak economics with you. Now, you have joined the customs union of the German Empire, which we're very glad to have seen you done. I'm here to primarily ask you what it is your country needs. We're already bankrolling you, of course. If you'd like to deficit spend, we're happy to take upon your debt. But we wish to see if there's anything else we can do for you.
So to respond, just to be sure, I'm gonna expand my military. I'll see.
Don't worry about it. Military can come later. We want to see you build up your economy first and foremost, which is what our subsidies are for. We wish, at the end of the day, economic strength is what protects a nation. It's what's brought us to our height of power, and it will be the same for Egypt.
Let's see what. Right now, I'm only exporting grain.
Well, in terms of making lots of money within the market of Germany, we'd advise that you take on rubber if you're able to make fields for it. If not, we'd suggest steel, oil, tools, and porcelain, all of which you could benefit greatly off.
All right, I will focus on that then. Just to warn you, we can only expand to 11 rubber plantations, and then we will hit our limit.
Beyond that, as I said before, the subsidies are permanent unless our economy just collapses, where we might have to stop for a little bit. As I said, take this as an opportunity to grow your economy. A powerful Egypt to offset the Ottoman state would do much for your country and mine, so we will provide anything needed to do so.
Hello.
Greetings.
I just wanted to let you know, we've all come to the decision that we're not going to pursue a war in America.
Really?
Yeah, for the sake of what's going on in Europe, we've decided that we think that's a more important situation to focus on.
I mean, the thing is, there is no conflict in Europe. There's a balance of power right now. No one's making any moves. The only countries who are really able to pursue military expansion and grow their power is you and Mexico. And in that case, we propose an alternative, which is that you delay it, and you take the time to build up your economies with our subsidies, and we're willing to pay off your debts to deficit spend. We'd also call on Portugal, with their own wealth, to also do the same to Mexico and Brazil.
Yep, and then what?
When you are strong enough, you pursue the war. You need to develop your economies, develop your militaries, and when you're ready, you will be able to take on those countries. The German National Bank has a large gold reserve. We have a lot of currency currently capable of being able to send out to foreign markets, of a lot of purchasing power for foreign goods. Portugal, are you willing to do the same? We know you have much wealth as well, and the building up of Brazil and Mexico would go a long way here in terms of strategic situation in the world.
Of course, without question, we'll be glad to have our Brazilian and Mexican allies if they needed it.
To make the British reliant on us for their ammunition. Everything else we have deficit of. Okay, let's, we really need fucking rubber, but I don't think we can actually make any more. No, we can. Oh, wow, we really can. Holy shit, why have I not done that?
This is a Spanish foreign, emissary from Queen Isabel herself. No,
Oh,
actually,
there.
it's King Louis de Bourbon, thanking you for your assistance in the civil war we have.
Of course, though we were sad to hear you would not support us in our war against the Ottoman, we will always honor our promises and will protect you in this war from these insurgents.
Unfortunately, we anticipate that there will likely be further instability in Iberia even after this war, seeing as while we have rooted out the industrialists and the petite bourgeoisie's threatening posture against the crown, there are still very dangerous factionalism going on among the intelligentsia as well as the trade unions, and we are uncertain if we can contain them in time.
You have full access to the German military in any uprising you may have.
Thank you very much. You are a very generous man.
Of course, the German Empire will always look after our friends. Yeah, this is pretty fucking spicy. We're running a big deficit because we're at war right now, but that's fine. We got a lot of money built up. We got 32 mil in the bank. We're continuing to subsidize. We're subsidizing 4 powers right now. We're subsidizing the Siam, Egypt, Brazil, and Mexico. And we're going to forgive their debts too. So we need to get back in a surplus. And yeah, we just need to really build up these other economies. The way I see it, like in the way I think Germany's foreign office would see it at this point, everyone who's against us and is a danger has like all these really powerful vassals and allies. We have no direct vassals. We only have alliances. At this point, our best course of action is literally just to make our allies as strong as fucking possible. So that's what we're gonna do. I gotta say also, my God, what the fuck is Britain smoking and where do I get it? I want to get whatever he's smoking. I need some of that shit. Like, my God. He has found some of the best fucking drugs I have ever seen in my life. The amount of just, oh my God. I mean, his perspective on the Ottomans, like that is just wild. I mean, I guess he's RPing an incompetent British foreign office really well. I'll give him that. So, you know. Oh my God, the communists just won. I do apologize, gentlemen. I will have to go. All right. Well, the communists just won and started a civil war. So, holy fuck.
You lost 1 million in 1 week. 1.9 million in 1 week. How?
Yep, I'm very aware.
Yes.
Chairman Theodore Roosevelt of the Council Republic of Revolutionary America.
And
Yes.
feminists.
Oh my God. Boys, this is pretty fucking bad. I'm gonna be honest here.
Yeah. We could guess.
In my eyes, what has happened is that the communists and the socialists won in the election by a fucking landslide. The Kaiser was forced to step down, which is what I'd planned to do, and this is the transition period, so.
Kaiser Oscar.
Kaiser Oscar is under house arrest right now.
Oh, sorry.
You're just call the leader of the majority. I'm a leader of the socialist
leader of the
coalition in
majority.
charge. Yeah.
The Republic of Austria would like to humbly request that we join your market.
We're not gonna say no, but you do know what just happened to our country, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, but
Okay.
we're not going to survive without access.
We're not gonna say no, but I mean, so out of RP, what has basically happened is, putting all the bullshit aside, what happened was obviously, again, the socialists and the communists, they won the vote dramatically. I don't know. After that happened, it was a landslide victory. I want to reiterate that. Like, the communists and the socialists, I think, got well over 70%. I'll have to go back and look. It was a lot. So what happened is just like with overwhelming opposition to them, there was really no choice but for the Kaiser and the conservative government to step down. They had part of the military loyal, but with the scope of how many people supported those guys, they knew that there was no other option. So RP-wise, what happened is the Kaiser stepped down, and he was treated good. What I want to roleplay is basically a socialist with the majority in control. They caucused with the communists, but the SDP is essentially in control, right? The old school one. And as such, the Kaiser was allowed to retain his title in name only. Like, that's it. Was given, like, one of his states to retain, and it was, like, basically forced into retirement. He has no power now. So we're entirely like a federal republic. This is like the Weimar Republic, right? This is the constitutional republic. We currently have the industrialist intelligentsia in power. I'd love to get the other parties in power here, but as such, we're just implementing across the board reform. So with the suffrage, we have that again, universal suffrage, presidential republic. We're going multiculturalism, and we'll probably go to public healthcare here very soon too. So this is a republic Germany, dramatic change in a short period of time.
Uns hat nicht das wütende Henker geschleckt, uns hat nicht das Wüten der Henker